Very proud of the effort of our team today. Thought we came out really ready to play offense, defense, special teams. I thought everybody was kind of locked in, had a good mental edge to them. Thought we played hard, played fast. If I'm not mistaken, no turnovers. I don't even know if there's a turnover in the game. Just like the way everybody played, and it went that way really through the third quarter. And of course, we made some subs after that offensively and bogged down a little bit. But it's good to see young guys play both sides of the ball at the end of the game, give them experience and to keep the morale up for those guys because they work hard too. So again, thank our scout teamers during the week. They did a super job. It's really been a great effort by our scout team so far this year. I'm really proud of them on the Tuesday and Wednesday stretch where it's kind of their game day to a certain degree, and they've done a great job for us. So hopefully we'll keep getting better, and got a great challenge next week. So we'll have to enjoy this here this evening, and then just kind of get our minds right for Tennessee.
Coach, you've coached of a lot of games at this point. How often have you seen it come together like this, where really just both sides of the ball and special teams, kind of everything play at a high level?
It is hard to do that, and it's just rare. I think it was just. I think our guys really wanted this one bad. I think they didn't feel very good about how things went a year ago. They know that we very easily could have lost that game, and all that 10 wins in a row and all that SEC Eastern Division champions and all that kind of stuff would have been down the drain. And our special teams were embarrassed from the way they played. Vanderbilt just beat the Tar Heels a year ago and stole the momentum of the game on 3 different occasions on the special teams, and just by the grace of God, Butler doesn't fall down when he does his little pirouette and halfway makes a tackle and forces him to play a couple of snaps of offense, or it had been really a catastrophe. And I don't think anybody liked it. I didn't like it. Our coaches didn't like it. Our players didn't like it. And we wanted to prove that we were better than that.
Mark Richt said that just the opposite of earlier games, like the run almost set up a passing game tonight. Success running the ball early and
right. It is harder to run the ball early in a ball game against really stout defenses, and usually it takes a little time to break a defense down a little bit, whether it's through just the normal fatigue of a game or by hitting a few passes that softens things up a little bit. But we did run. We ran it well. I mean, there weren't many. In the first 3 quarters, I can't hardly think of a negative yardage play. There might have been one. Most every time the backs had the ball, they had some space some creases to hit, and then on more than one occasion they had opportunities to take it to the safety and try to make a miss. Sometimes we didn't, sometimes we didn't. But when their safety is the #1 tackler in the game, it's usually a pretty good sign for your run game.
not a new little wrinkle, Murray in the gun and a tailback behind him one time?
Well, we did that a little bit last game. Last week was the first time we did it since I've been at Georgia. And what it does is it just allows the back to make some cuts that you can't make. When you're in the gun and you run laterally, it's tough to make a cut back. If that's where the thing opens up on a zone play or even a power play sometimes. But when you come downhill and you got your pad square and it opens up, you can much more easily make that cut. And you do have a little bit more momentum going when you're going downhill than when you go sideways. So that's why we've been doing it. And there'll be some good play action pass off of that too.
Todd was out there to give a handshake with Coach Franklin. Did you kind of like the way that it all wrapped up and ended?
Yeah, I think we talked about at the very end we just reminded them to show class and congratulate everybody and let's get on home. But while we're talking about Todd, I mean, averaging over 8 yards a carry, Keith Marshall averaging over 8 yards a carry. That was probably the most impressive stat to me in the game.
I was talking about the other Todd Grantham.
Oh, Todd Grantham. Oh,
Todd.
you Todd Grantham? I didn't pay attention to that. Well, that's good. They should shake hands.
Coach, how about the way Murray started?
I'm sorry, who's talking?
How about the way Murray started?
Yeah, Murray started good again. I think he did. He threw any picks. He hit 75% of his passes, and Aaron just prepares really like no one we've had. And we've had guys that work hard. I mean, all of our guys work hard in preparing, but Murray he does take it to another level in how he prepares for the game. And because of that, we have a high cover level to let him check out any play that doesn't look good. He checks from a run to a run to a pass at times. He'll change the protection at the line of scrimmage. He'll change a pass play from time to time. We rarely run bad plays because he studies so well, and he has certain keys that he can kind of anticipate what's happening and just get us out of bad situations.
Mark, what was the difference tonight, the first half defense than the first 3 games?
I don't know. I just think that we played hard and physical and didn't have any missed assignments that would cause a big gap to come open and that type of thing. I thought we tackled pretty well overall. And I think their blood was running hot a little bit to start the game. I thought it was good.
Coach, tonight marked 4 consecutive games over 40 yards, the first time in Georgia history.
Right.
What does a stat like that mean?
Well, it means everybody's playing good. We're executing well. It means that our defense is playing well because you need field position to do that. You need, and again, as I said before, Missouri game, when Jarvis Jones gets the pick, when he strips the ball out and sets up the last couple of touchdowns, we would have got 41 if we didn't play great defense in that game or make some big plays like that. So it's a team stat when that happens, and it's a team stat when you hold a team to 3 too, because you didn't throw a pick 6, you didn't fumble the ball on special teams, you didn't do something to put the defense automatically in the red zone. When you at the end of the play, at the end of a drive, when you kick either a field goal, extra point, or punt, there's a good chance you're going to give your defense enough grass to defend where they got to earn it, and so it's hard to have games like that without the offense playing well too.
Mark, I know Marlon's been kind of injury prone his career here, but even though he's a senior, are you still starting to see his talents emerging on a week-to-week?
Well, we've been seeing it. We have been seeing what he's doing, and I'm just so thankful for him, happy for him to just be able to play a season so far. Of course, he did miss the 1 game, but I'm just glad to see him be able to make these plays and show everybody what he can do, and be able to see some of the benefits of his hard work, because he looked just as good in last year's camp as he did this year's camp, I thought. And it's just nice to see him healthy and making plays. Well,
Talent-wise, have you ever had a better team here than this?
talent-wise, I don't know. There's some pretty talented teams. There really have been. I thought the 2002 team was a pretty talented team. And, I think when you execute well, and you've got good chemistry, and you just everybody's kind of locked in, then I think it looks like you have more talent than you have. Not to say we're not a talented team, we are, but I just think the better you execute, the more it looks like you got some pretty good players.
Coach Rick, Jarvis Jones said this week that when it comes to the defensive woes, that you guys haven't added all of your defensive packages and that you guys are just missing the experience of playing with each other. Have you been holding back based on your opponents? Will we see some more things added with Ogletree?
Well, we haven't had everybody there, that's for sure. And there is, I think there's an element of continuity when you get 11 guys used to playing together in whatever personnel package you're in, because if it's 3 receivers, we're in a different package, 4 receivers are in a different package. So it's not always just 11 guys, but it's nice to have all your talented, experienced players to be playing. And so, I don't think we're holding back anything as far as scheme-wise, but I think there's a continuity issue that we're still working on getting better at.
Will you have everyone?
Segue back, really back.
Sorry?
Will you have everyone there next week?
Well, we'll have to wait till pregame. That's a dumb answer, but that's what I'm gonna say. So you guys,
Rambo and Ogletree, you'll have to wait to see till next week.
yeah, we'll have to wait till next week.
Coach, Malcolm Mitchell was getting a lot of time on offense. Is this something we should expect to see? You know, every unit you guys throw out there, Malcolm's out there.
Well, Malcolm's going to play more offense, I hope. Like I said, as the season goes on, I said it from the beginning, I'm hoping he'll play more offense as we go. I think he misses, you know, having the ball thrown to him and that type of thing. And he really has been a guy who's sacrificed for the team, I think. I mean, I think he would have. I think his idea of playing both ways was, you know, doing what he's been doing on offense and helping out on defense. And I don't think his idea was necessarily to be a full-time defensive football player. You know, so he's done a good job of standing in the gap for us when we needed him to. And you know, in time he'll play more offensive snaps.
Teams are coming after him too, aren't they?
Well, yeah, I mean they did today. He certainly is gaining some experience at corner.
How difficult is it to scheme for Georgia with so many different weapons and maybe not like that one go-to guy?
Right. Well, we like it that way. I've always liked to have. I love to release 5 receivers as possible. You're allowed to. Sometimes you can we do a lot of free release where we let everybody out, and if they bring heat, we throw hot and that type of thing. And you can do that with a veteran quarterback. But if it's zone or some type of non-blitzing situation where we have it picked up, the protection picks it up, then you progress. And sometimes if it's zone, you may have a 3-man progression over here, and if it's man, you might have a 2-man progression on the other side. So before the snap of the ball, you really don't know where the ball is going to go. And but you know, we have a quarterback who can handle that, and because of it, we really don't know where the ball is going to go. When we call certain plays, we don't know who's going to get it. And there's a lot of offensive systems that you have what you call hem routes, where they're, you know, they'll do everything in their power to design a ball to get directed to a certain guy. Where we just assume get everybody out there, read the coverage, and go to the guy the ball needs to be thrown to. And that's why the ball gets thrown around a lot of different guys, and we really don't know who's going to have a big day.
Coach, can you talk about the play of Rhett McGowan and Ken Malcolm on that big 96-yard drive in the second quarter?
Right. Well, Rhett, he's been a guy who he did get put on scholarship this year, and Rhett was a guy that we had a comfort level in our rotation with our receivers. It's not like we're going to wait till the third or fourth quarter to put him in the game. We'll put him in the game at any time, depending on fatigue or how long the drive goes and things of that nature. Plus, he's a very valuable punt return man for us. So and he played well today. He had a big 3rd down catch. He had man coverage and got off the jam beautifully. Made a tough catch. I thought it was close to pass interference, but he snagged it anyway. Caught it. Well, to get another 3rd down catch when Parker threw. I think that's who Parker threw the ball to. Made a great catch. And you guys by Ken Malcolm?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Kenny. It was good to see Kenny break out too. Kenny's been practicing hard. Kenny's been running well. You know, we stacked the pecking order the way we feel comfortable, but we really feel like those 3 guys are going to get carries every ball game, and hopefully more than that if things go real well.
Coach, any early word on Avery Jones?
No. Well, I think the only thing I can say is we don't think it's a super serious situation by any means.
Ankle or young?
I'm really was told this year not to get into much detail on the injuries.
Y'all have had big wins before, and then Tennessee comes in the next week and trip you up over the last.
Yeah. Well, I remember the year way back we had the LSU game and played just superb in that LSU game. And next week, I think might have had a freshman quarterback that. I don't know, is that year or not? Was he not a freshman? Was he a freshman that year? And he came in and they beat us. You're right. And we got to get our minds right and get this out of our system as quick as we can and get ready for the next challenge.
You had 7 touchdown drives, and the shortest of them was 47 yards. Does that say something about the just the continuity you can have and the different ways you can hit people.
It really has been good. I think Coach Bo has been putting together a tremendous plan, and it's not just Coach Bo, because it's an effort of the staff. There's a lot of things discussed all throughout the week. Each coach has a different responsibility to study and bring his ideas to Coach Bobo, and they all chew on it, and then Coach Bobo makes the final decision on what goes on the game plan, and I think they've done a super job of just planning and getting into having a system where we can get to the best play possible, have a quarterback who can be trained in such a way that you can, if you just call a play and run it, you're guessing. Nowadays you're guessing. You're hoping you hit it against the right defense. But if you got a guy that can really understand football and get coached to the point where he can get everybody into the best situation possible, you got a chance to execute. Because sometimes you can do it perfectly, and if you're running into a safety spinning down in the direction you're running the football, you can block every guy perfectly, but that safety's on the line of scrimmage unblocked, and it's a 1-yard gain, and it looks like you don't know what you're doing. So we just, our coaches just have done a super job of having the scheme and training our guys up to be able to execute it.
How do you have, how long do you have to have patience with your quarterback now? Aaron's been here for 3 years.
Yeah.
In 2010, it wasn't like this.
Well, he did come at the mid-year.
What I mean to say is,
Yeah.
to go to the line, and you were talking about how he does a lot of things that sort of coach.
Well, you kind of start a guy out, you hope a guy can at least get you out of a bad situation into something good. But after a while, you'll get a guy that can get you from a good situation to a great situation. And that's where Aaron is right now. And, I don't know if he could be more prepared than he is right now, as far as being able to handle anything in our system that we're trying to get him to accomplish. So, but like I was going to say, he was here. He came at mid-year, so he got that spring. He had the summer, had the full season, redshirted, had another spring, had another summer, even before his first opportunity. And so many guys, when they're being redshirted, they let down. They're like, well, I'm just being redshirted, and I'll get ready next spring or whatever. But Aaron didn't look at it that way. Aaron knew he was competing for a job the minute he got there, and he was trying to. It's a race against the clock to learn what to do, and he just tremendous at preparing.
Last question. Coach Parker Welch got a little nod ahead of Christian night. Was that the plan all along going in?
Well, it was this week. We thought Parker deserved to go in first, so that's what we did. Yeah. Thanks, Coach.